Hey, this is Jim from His Nature Farm, and I want to welcome you back to the new year, 2025. Well, you know, we're going all in this year, and for this episode, I want to show you what we have planned for our next project. Okay, so you know that we've been building this project. It's been a family affair here. We started April of 2023. We broke ground on this building right over here, and we built it as a family. And of course, when you're building, you have absolutely stuff everywhere. We had no shed, we had no garage, we had nothing. This was just a vacant piece of property with no power, no water, no nothing. And of course, we have right here a bunch of stuff. We have stuff everywhere. We had just everything, parts and pieces of construction equipment and tools and everything, and we were jamming it into the building over here. We were doing everything we can. Well, now that building, our barn dominium, we're going to be taking one of the rooms and we're going to be making that into a game room, kind of a meeting room. So what are we going to do with this stuff? Well, let me show you what we're going to do, where we're going to move it, and why we're moving it, and kind of give you a hint of how we afford to do some of this stuff. All right, guys, so we're back. You may be seeing, I'm standing in a building. And you know, this brings me to a story. You ever notice, if you guys have ever been to the Biltmore down there in North Carolina, and you get on the property and it's super awesome, beautiful house, people got loads of money, yet they have a winery and they have gardens and they have all these different things, and you recognize and you hear from the tour, if you've ever been on a tour, that they designed the property and the building to be sustainable. In other words, they're always thinking about how to support it, even when they have a ton of money. Now, we don't have a ton of money, definitely not. What's more important is how do we sustain this property? So if you're not aware, and you may not, maybe you're new to the channel, we have about 100 acres here of land, and we did this several years ago. We bought this property with nothing on it. And the reality was, well, how do you take care of it? I mean, we're not independently wealthy people. We did it, we pulled the trigger on it because we saw prices of homes and real estate going up. And we said, this is our time, we need to do it now. And we took the risk and did it. So you've seen over the months and over the years that we've actually been videotaping of us building this project out. Well, the idea is, how do you maintain it? How do you add on to this property? How do you do what you want to do? You know, I'm a visionary guy, have a lot of real things I'd like to do. We like to have hospitality, have folks visit us. It's very rewarding and fulfilling to us to do that. And in the process of doing that, we need to figure out different methods of financial support. Well, of course, we could make it a nonprofit, and we could try that, but we could do other things, and this building is part of that. Let me take you for a little walk and I'll kind of show you. All right, so we're out here in front of the next project. What you see behind us is 4 buildings. They're 4 metal buildings, and we've been working on it for 8 to 10 months, not to get the buildings up, but to get the site prepared. What you're looking at is a piece of land that's approximately 6 acres that we have on our property. We've had it cleared, we've had these pads built. What I mean by pads is we've had everything leveled, the dirt, the clay, the rocks, everything moved around. We put a lot of money into getting this place ready. We had electric brought in to build these 4 buildings. And the reality of these 4 buildings is they are here because we want to do something different. We want to, of course, we want to make an income maybe from renting them, but also from our own business. And we have a lot of ideas for our own business. And I'm going to show you kind of what we're getting started on. They're all identical in size. They're about 1,200 square feet. And they all have overhead doors and everything else. And I want to show you what we're doing here and kind of show you one of the buildings and kind of our thinking behind it. Okay, so this is one of the buildings. As I said, it's 1,200 square feet. We had the slabs poured a couple of weeks back. And we're getting ready for this building. This is going to be our building for our personal use. And we're going to build a wood shop here. That's the idea. So we're bringing down our tools. We have everything from that building I told you about up front. We're building it down. We're bringing everything down, a bunch of stuff, and we're putting it in this building in particular, to build a wood shop here. And probably more than that. We're going to start creating a business of some sort. Not sure exactly what we're going to do yet. But something that me and my family, particularly my son, we can kind of do it together, maybe make some products for people that we see there's a need for. We like to do very utilitarian things, and we've identified a couple of things that we'll probably show you. But also something really cool and something really neat is who we actually have in the building next door. We already have a buddy of ours who's coming down and moving in. Let me show you this. Now, is not that cool? You're probably wondering, what is that? That is a revolver made from our friend of ours who's an artist. He's a glass artist. That thing is made totally out of glass. So we are going to be engaging in some glass artwork, and because he's an artist and he's been doing this for many years, for 27 years at Disney alone. So he's going to be coming here and be wanting one of our artisans, and that's the point. We're welcoming people who have a special gift and talent to doing stuff like this. Now, in 2025, we're going to create a new channel, and it's going to be dedicated just to Javier, and that's who he is. And his glass blowing. And if you have anybody who's interested in glass blowing or learning about it, it's amazing to watch him work. And we're just developing it. Of course, there are some products that Javier is going to be selling and stuff like that, which are pretty neat things. And I just want to introduce you to that. Eventually, I'm going to introduce you to him. But we're going to make a separate channel at His Nature Farm for him and his work. But I wanted to just kind of mention it to you, and we'll let you know when that channel actually launches. All right, so that's what we're doing in 2025. That's one aspect. Of course, we're going to be continuing the builds, finishing that out. We're also going to be doing stuff potentially with some animals in the future. We've kind of been tossing that around as well. That's a whole other ball game there when you get into that. So we have a lot of things planned for this year coming up. I wanted to just wet your whistle here for some of that. And if you have any interest in any of this, please subscribe and, of course, comment. Your comments, I read them all. I learn a lot from you guys, and hopefully you gain something from what you hear on our channel at His Nature Farm. But I want to, again, thank you for joining us. And this is Jim from His Nature Farm. I want to thank you, and you guys have a blessed and wonderful new year.